Okay, good morning. Let's come to the mat. It's a sort of cloudy day here today, a little rain, but that's better than snow. Yes, I did start the recording. Let me just double check that the recording is
I'm not responding.
okay. All right, let's come to your mat. We're going to be standing up here for a couple of minutes, a few minutes. This class is about mobility and functional movement. So hopefully we're going to have a little fun today, move our joints. But first let's come to our standing, our Tadasana pose. So with our big toes together, lift and separate the other toes and place them on the floor. Having the outside of your feet parallel with the sides of the mat. So you might have a little bit of a space between your ankles. Softening the eyes or closing them if you have your balance, that's fine. But if you need to keep them open just a little bit so that you have your balance, that's fine. And take a moment to quiet the mind. Setting an intention for your class today, if you'd like to do so. And then focusing on the breath through the nose, both on the inhale and the exhale. And engaging our bandhas, those muscle groups that we often speak of, the mula pulling up at the perineal area to support the internal organs, pulling in at the uddiyana, the core in and up back towards the spine, and then gently engaging the chin bandha, the Jalandhara bandha, so our spine is in alignment. Opening the heart space, pulling the shoulders back and away, down rather from the ears. And let's begin with that Ujjayi breathing, that victorious breath where we inhale through the nose and find a little raspy sound at the back of the throat, sort of like a snore, or if you like, more like the sound of an ocean wave. Inhaling and exhaling. Opening your eyes and take a step apart so that your feet are about hip width apart. Let's take the arms up and inhale and down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Again, inhale, reaching, and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Now with your hands in Namaste prayer, let's take a step to the right. Now make sure we're going to lunge to the right with your hips behind your knee. Your knee is over, more close to the ankles, over the ankles, so that you can see your big toe. So we're pushing the butt out behind, and then step back to the center. Step out now to the left, or your right, I guess, if I'm mirroring you. And again, make sure the hips are out and you can see your big toe. To the side and back to center. Lunge to the other side, check those hips, back to center. Push off from the heels again. Lunge, press up from the heel, engage your core, lunge, engage your core. Coming down as low as you feel comfortable with without affecting your knees. If you have sensitive knees, just listen to how far you can go. One more time, and lunging. And to the other side. And coming back to center. Loosen your arms. Let's lift one arm, touch the toe on the other foot, and just doing some arm swirls as we touch the toe. Lifting that leg, engage your core. Nice big circles with the arms. Slow enough that you can control it. Keep going. And then come to center. Bring your hands to your sides of your ears. You're not pulling or holding your head, you're just touching. We're going to lift one knee up, bring the knee up towards the elbow, other side and down. Engage your core here. So side crunches. Up as high as you can bring that knee. Other side. Other side. Crunch. 2 more. And good. Keep the hands there. And now we're going to do a cross crunch. So the knee towards the elbow and down, opposite knee and opposite elbow. And breathe. Keeping these nice and slow. It works on your balance as well. One more. And release. Shake it out. Bringing yourself over now to the wall or whatever you're holding on to. And I have one hand on the wall just for balance. My other hand is on my hip. I'm going to inhale, bring the outer knee up. Exhale, knee to the side. Inhale, bring the foot up to the knee. Exhale, bring the knees together. Inhale, knee up. Exhale, foot to the knee. Inhale, knee turns forward. And exhale down. We've done these before in the laying position, but standing is just as effective. So we're really working into the hip joint. Again, inhale up, exhale out, inhale foot up, exhale knees together. Inhale up, exhale foot to the knee, inhale forward and down. Again, up, exhale, inhale, closed. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and down. Now let's shake that out. Bring the knee up and let's do some hip swirls. So we're going to, or knee swirl, whatever you want to call them. We're taking the knee and making sort of a loop in front and behind, in front and behind. Engage your core here and breathe. Do a few one way and then reverse it. So sort of doing a loop in the front, loop behind, keeping the knee up as high as you can. One more. And release. Shake it out. We'll do the other side. So again, holding onto the wall, transferring the weight onto my inner foot. Now I'm going to lift the outer foot, knee rather. Exhale, foot up. Exhale, knees down. Inhale, knee up. Exhale, foot down. Inhale, knee forward. Exhale, down. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And noticing how when we do this, we're working the various motions and range of motion rather of the hip. Again. And down. Did we do 3? Was that 3? I think it was. Okay. And then let's do some hip swirls, knee swirls in front, loops in front, loops behind. Again, trying to keep the torso as still as possible. We're just moving into that joint, working on the range there. And then go the other way, loop the other way. One more. And down, shake it out. And let's come back to the mat. With your feet about hip width apart, let's come up on one toe, and we're just going to do some ankle rolls into that ankle on the toe, standing on the toe rather. Go one way and go the other way. And then pressing down onto the toes to get a little stretch in the toes as well. I hear some cracking there, and then pressing on the tops of the toes. Just getting a little stretch there as well. Shake it out. Let's do the other side. Up on the toe, ankle rolls. Really focusing on giving the joints some love today. Go the other way. And then pressing down on the tops of the toes, underneath. Okay. Bring the feet together and the knees together through hands on your thighs. And we're going to do some gentle knee circles. Just finding your range of motion in the knees here. And go the other way. I have my knees bent, obviously. Okay. Hands on your hip, feet apart. Let's do some hip swirls, some nice big circles with the hips. Finding that range of motion, really feeling how large of a circle you can make. Noticing anything that might be a little sensitive to you. Go the other way now. Trying not to neglect any part of that circle. And coming back to center, interlocking the fingers. Let's work on the wrists and the fingers. Doing some wrist rolls. Go the other way. And then maybe involving the elbows, shoulders a little bit, maybe doing some waves with the hands. And shake it out. Your feet still about hip width apart. Let's do some side to side swings. With your knees bent and just nice and loose, just letting the arms like rag dolls, just sort of slapping the side of your body gently. Awakening the spine. And then coming back with your feet under your hips, let's drop the neck or the chin and do some neck rolls. Inhale to your left, to your right. 4, 5, 6, 7. Come up to the top, and now exhale down. Very slow. Again, inhale. Check your jaw, that you're releasing your jaw, and exhale. Again, inhale. Check that your shoulders are relaxed. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. Really noticing how the neck feels and spending a little extra time on any area that might be feeling a little ouchy today. Go the other way now. Inhale. Check your jaw. Make sure there's space between your teeth. And exhaling down. Continue. And exhaling. Again. Exhale, check your shoulders. One more time. And exhale. Now grabbing your belt, do a little shoulder work. And with the belt, we want to hold it so that your arms are able to remain straight, but you can still move back in the joint behind the head if you'd like to go back and forward. You can also just play with this. There's a number of things you can do here to work into the shoulder joints. Just keep the arms. You can go sort of around the head like this. Go one way and then the other. Just keep the arms straight so that we're working the shoulder joints. And go to the side. Get a little bit of the torso, thoracic movement as well. Relax your chin. And release. You can put that down. Now grabbing one of your bricks. And we want to place the brick between your calves like so. Now I'm going to toddle over to the wall or your chair, whatever you're holding on to. And with your feet facing forward, we're just going to come up as straight up as possible. In other words, not leaning forward, but coming up on the toes and hold, squeeze that brick. A couple of breaths here and then down. Up again, squeeze and lift. Heels are off the floor. Breathe. And if your balance is good, you can try without holding on. Just don't fall. Make sure you have something there in case you need it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. The more you squeeze, the more it helps with your balance. And down one more time. Squeeze up. This is also a good, for those of you who have ankle or foot issues, this is good for working on that as well. And release. You can move the brick over to the side. And then let's just bounce on our toes. I'm doing this sideways so you can see me. I'm just bouncing the heels off the floor and just letting the body bounce. Let everything shake a little bit and just bounce. Good. Okay. Coming back to the mat. I'm going to do this sideways again. Bring your brick and bring it between, this time, your thighs, so right above the knees. My feet are facing the front of my mat. Inhale, bring the arms up to the sky, eyes follow the hands. Exhale, bring the hips down as though I'm going to sit down. This is chair or Utkatasana. Up, down. Again, you want to be able to see those toes, although your gaze keeps forward, but the point is your hips are going back and down. Just like you're going to sit on a chair, squeeze that block and down. Engage your core here. Squeezing the block makes you engage your core, as well as all the muscles on the inner thigh. Inhale up. Let's do a couple more. Exhale down. Inhale, squeeze up. Down. One more. Exhale down. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And inhale up. Bring your arms down. Shake it out. Taking your brick in your, let's put it in your left hand now. Do some Turkish get-ups. There are a couple of ways to do these. We'll work on the traditional way first. So inhale, you're going to bring your right hand up, mirroring you here. Exhale, come down onto your other knee, your left knee, put the left hand on the floor, press through that hand, pull the leg through and sit down. I'm going to do this sideways so you can see a little better, I think. Inhale, we're going to lay down. Straighten the legs. Coming up now to sitting, you engage your core to come up to a sitting. Bring that hand to the side and press through. Bring that leg underneath, come into your lunge. Inhale, standing up. and exhale, hand down. Let's do it again. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, kneel and hand to the floor. Inhale, push to the hand, bring the leg forward, and exhale, lay down. Inhale, engage your core, come up to sitting. Exhale, push to the hand, bring the leg underneath you. Inhale, stand up, and exhale, down. Let's do the other side. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, kneel and hand to the floor. Inhale, push through the hand, come to sitting. Exhale, down. Engage the core as you press through to come up to sitting. Inhale, bring the knee underneath you. Exhale, stand up. I think it was inhale, stand up, and exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, kneel, hand to the floor. Inhale, foot through. Exhale, lay down. Engage your core as you inhale and come to sitting. Exhale. Inhale, stand. And exhale, down. Now, for some of you, you may have trouble with, especially if you have knee issues or hip replacement, that might be a little difficult. So I'm going to show you a modification of that as well. So let's start. I have my block in my left hand. I'm not mirroring you now. So inhale, arm is up. Exhale, come down into a kneeling position, hand to the floor. But on the same knee that's down, I'm going to just sit down and bring my feet in front of me and then lay down. So we're not pulling the foot underneath, we're just sitting down and avoiding that. Inhale, engage your core, come to sitting. Exhale, swing the legs around underneath you and come up to your lunge, and then to standing and the arm down. The important thing that we're trying to do here is work on getting down and up off the floor. So if you're not at a point that you can lift the hip and get the leg underneath you, just sitting down and practicing that getting up and down from the floor is important. Let's do that one again with the modification, or you can do either one as you want. Inhale, arm rises. Exhale, coming down into a lunge. Just sitting down on that same hip as your knee was down. I have to scooch here a little bit. And then coming down to laying down. Inhale, engage the core, come up to sitting, bring that leg around and come onto your knee. Inhale, engage the core, press through that heel and stand up. Other side now. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, sit down. Exhale, lay down. Inhale, sit up, engaging that core. Bring the legs around, come on to your knee, pressing up to standing and down. One more set, whichever one you want to do. I'll do the regular one this time. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, arm down. Lift, bring the leg forward. Exhale, down. Keep the brick up. Inhale, sitting up. Exhale, bringing the knee underneath. Inhale, stand. And exhale, other side. Inhale up. Exhale to the knee. Inhale, bring the leg underneath. And exhale, lay down. Inhale, engage your core. Sit up. Exhale, knee underneath. Inhale up. And exhale down. Traditionally, you use a hand weight, or you can use a bottle of water if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, or if you have hand weights, you can do that. But the brick at least gets the hand in the right position. And frankly, it can be just as challenging working on that with the brick regardless. The important thing that, you know, as we age, we want to keep moving, keep getting down to the floor, getting up on the floor. So take those opportunities. When the grandchildren are there, get down on the floor, get up. If you see something you need to pick up, take the opportunity and see it as an opportunity to bend over, to move your body closer to the ground, and then practice engaging your core, pressing through the knees, and really using your core to go down and up so you don't hurt yourself. Okay. Moving on. Standing, oh, this is a fun one. So standing at the end of your mat and on the side, we're going to come down, bend the knees, come down to the floor, but the knees are staying off the floor. I'm going to roll around, come onto my hips, continuing to roll using my hands, come up, back to a squat, and then standing up. Do it again. So now down, knees stay off the floor the whole time. Roll on the floor, come back around, make the circle, onto your hands, and stand up. Again. You know, we used to do all these things as kids, and as I have watched my grandson, he is constantly moving. I'm not sure that it's that we get older, we just don't move as much. So we have to work a little harder at it. And keep going. Down. Gently rolling around, working yourself around, and coming to standing again. Down. Rolling on the hips. And stand up. You know, if we moved as much as 3-year-olds do, people would think we're a little crazy, but yet they do, and they're so happy and they're so healthy and their body works for them. So don't be afraid to move and to take the opportunities throughout the day, and not just when you're doing your yoga, but throughout the day, to add in a little bit of mobility, a little bit of movement to keep the joints going. All right, standing at the front of your mat with your feet about hip width apart and under you, under your hips. Inhale, the arms rise, reaching to the sky, finding that space between the sides of the rib cage, and exhale, forward fold, softening the knees as needed as we come into our Uttanasana. And breathe, just allow gravity to do its thing here. Enjoy this forward fold. Again, if this is hard on the back or on the glutes, just soften your knees, bend them as needed to bring the hands to the floor. You can even use a brick to hold on to if you'd like. Relax your head, shake your head side to side, and breathe. Now taking your right hand, or excuse me, your left hand beside, in the middle and in front of your feet, sorry, and spreading it wide. We're going to do bend the left knee, straighten the right knee, bring the right arm up to the sky and open, finding that stretch. Opening that shoulder. Keep your chin tucked here. And breathe. And come down, release, and do the other side. Now, bending the the right knee, and keeping the left leg straight. We're going to swing the left arm up to the sky, pulling that shoulder back, opening the heart space. Tuck your chin, but looking up towards the hand. And breathe. And release. Stepping back into our downward facing dog. Let's take a moment here and do a few breaths here, pressing the hips up to the sky as we inhale. And exhale, hands are about shoulder width apart, hips and knees and feet are about, feet are about hip width apart. Pressing the hips up to the sky. Shaking your head yes and no, making sure relaxing the neck. Pressing through the hands. Maybe coming up onto the toes if you'd like, and then exhale, pressing the heels back down. Doesn't matter if the heels don't touch the floor. Some people are anatomically unable to do so. Just finding that stretch from the hands to the feet, all along the back side of the body. And then let's drop the knees, come to the floor. Bringing your hands out in front of you. You might want to grab a brick here. And taking the knees wide, like we're going into child, but this is coming into puppy. So I'm going to use a block. You don't have to if you don't want to, but using the hands or stretching the hands out in front of you, letting the hips fall back down towards the knees, and just finding this stretch, this opening. Nice shoulder opener, chest opener here. And breathe. Relax the jaw. And when you're ready, you can come out of it. Move the brick out of the way. With your hands about under your shoulders, let's take the right arm up to the sky, and I'm going to thread the back of that hand underneath, bring the head to the floor, and then extend that left arm up ahead of me and letting the hips stretch back down towards the feet, finding your puppy twist. You can leave this upper arm stretching forward if you'd like, or you can bring it over the back of the body, maybe hooking that opposite thigh if that's available to you. But opening that shoulder, that upper shoulder, and finding your twist. Relax the face. And you can release. We'll do the other side. Coming back up to all fours. Now I'm going to take the other hand, reaching to the sky, swooping the arm down, threading it underneath the other one on the back of the hand. My right arm is going to go forward for my stretch that way, or I can put it over the back of my body if I care to do so. Either way. Side of the face is on the floor, and breathe. Maybe reaching a little farther with that arm that's threaded under, if you would like to find a little more of a twist there. Whatever feels good to you here. One more breath. And release, coming back up to all fours. Let's take child here for just a moment. So keeping the knees wide, bringing the head to the floor or with a brick underneath if you'd like, or on a blanket. And let's just come back into child. Hips come down, using whatever props you may need, shaking the shoulders a little bit, checking that your jaw is relaxed, checking the body for releasing anything that you might be holding, maybe in the lower back. When you're ready, let's come up out of that. Bring the knees a little closer together. Let's take a lunge forward with one foot. I'm using my right foot forward here. Now, make sure your feet are wide enough apart, about at least hip widths, so that you have your balance. Coming up, we're going to, with your hands onto the knee, we're going to lean forward so that the knee is past the foot, because we're working on opening the pelvic and inner hip area. Now, lunging forward, letting the pelvis fall forward, but don't arch the back we don't want to let the lower back arch out. So almost feel like you're zipping up your pants there. So you're pulling the pelvic bone up, but yet releasing the pelvis into the lunge, if that makes sense. Bring the arms up. And then exhale, coming back, swooping the arms back as far as you can. Raise the toes so you're on your heel. Follow the head, the sight of your hands with your head as far as you can. And then we're going to rock forward into our lunge. Arms come up. And then back. Lift the toes. Finding that stretch in the back of the leg here. Forward lunge. Inhale. Exhale. If you have sensitive knees, you may need to put a blanket under the knee that's kneeling. That's totally fine. And I don't know about you, but I also find this a bit of a balance exercise too, just to doing this slowly and keeping control. And then let's change legs. Now bring the other leg forward, coming into our lunge. Again, making sure your feet are wide enough, or your foot and your knee, your legs are wide enough apart so that you have a sturdy foundation. Leaning, letting the pelvis fall into that lunge, reaching to the sky. Inhaling, and then exhale, bringing the hands down, lift the toes, finding your stretch in the back of the legs, far back as you can reach with the hands, and then forward, inhale, lunge, exhale, inhale, exhale, couple more, one more, lunge, and exhale. All right, let's sit down. And extending one leg, bring the other one up over the other one. And we're going to do some rock, what we call rock the baby here. So I'm holding my knee and my foot, going to lift it and just gently rock the baby. Rocking the hip, gentle movements here. And breathe. And you can put that leg down. Let's rock the other baby. Holding the foot and the knee, sitting up nice and tall. Rocking it back and forth. Into the hip joint there. And release. Now taking your legs comfortably wide apart, place your right hand, I'll do it mirroring you, your right hand in front between the legs on the floor, the other hand behind your legs. And we're going to turn so that that back foot comes to the floor and turn to the side. Then we're going to rotate to the other side, have the back foot touch the side of it, touch the floor. And back and forth. We're doing some internal and external hip rotation here, very gentle. Just feeling each hip as it rotates around. Breathe. Keep going. Couple more. Just feeling that rotation in the hip joints on both sides. And coming back to center. Bringing your feet together. I'll turn here so you can see it. Feet together, feet flexed. Nice and tall, sitting nice and tall. I always like to move the skin away from my hip bones, bringing your hands into Namaste prayer. And we're just going to do some scooches forward, engaging your core, lifting those hips. Scooch forward. And then let's go backwards. Scooch. Let's do it again. The other way. Forward. And backwards. One more time. Forward. Scooch. And backwards. Okay. Bending your knees so that you're sitting in a side saddle position. I'm turning here so you can see me. Bringing your hands up in front of you onto the floor. We're going to just come up off our hips. I'm going to move my feet to the other side of my body and then sit down. That's it. Hands forward, move the feet to the other side and down. Hand forwards, feet go to the other side and down. One more time. Move the feet to the other side and down. Now, if this is easy for you or you feel good with that, you can also try now bringing the hands into Namaste prayer. Inhale, coming forward, moving the feet to the other side. So not using the hands and down. Inhale up, feet to the other side and down. You can keep using your hands if you'd like. Keep doing this. A little hip strength and down, up and down. Shake it out. Actually, let's come into all fours. Hands under your shoulders, fingers spread. Coming up onto our toes, lift the knees off the floor. We're going to do some bear walks. So walking on our hands and feet, but in a bear position. Luckily, we haven't seen any bears here yet this year, but with this go backwards, with the early spring that we seem to be having, they will be waking up if they haven't already. Now let's go side to side. Keep those knees off the floor. Come back to center. Other side. Bear walk. These are hard. Strength. Knees down. Let's take a break and breathe. I'm going to do one more set of that. You up for it? Let's do it. Knees up onto the toes. Forward. Now back. Side. Back to center. Other side. This is why I said we need some space here today. And go back to center. And let's do child. Spread the knees, bring the arms around the side if you'd like, or in front of you, and breathe. Couple more breaths. And when you're ready, let's sit down. Actually, you're going to lay down with your knees bent. Hands are at your side. Roll the knees over to the right side. bringing your left arm over and come up onto the forearm, onto your right forearm, using your core and as though you're reaching for a glass of water. I call these get out of bed reaches. Now rolling back, staying on the small of your back as much as possible, rolling to the other side and reach. Now keep your chin tucked. You don't want to pull with the head. We have a tendency to do that. We want to focus on using your core strength here. So keep your chin tucked. The other side. Gentle core work here, but very functional. Getting out of bed in the morning and coming down, rolling gently. Don't slap the back. Coming onto the other side. Reach. Let's do one more set. Slow. Inhale up. And then coming back down. Chin tucked. Inhale to the side. And coming back down to center. All right. Extend your feet. Extend your arms. We're going to do some full body rolls. So we're just going to make complete roll over onto our bellies, then onto our backs, to the one side, and then to the other side, just so you, because I know it might be hard to watch and do this at the same time. So I'm going to start by taking my left leg, crossing over my right, bringing that left arm over body, rolling over onto my belly, continuing to roll, and coming onto my back. I'm a little scooch for space here too. But the point is we don't want to use our arms and legs. We want to try to use our core as much as possible. So now taking the right leg over, right arm over, coming onto our bellies, and then continuing, engage your core and come onto your back. Now go the other side. Running out of space here myself. Again, now we're going to cross the right leg over, right arm over. Arms are extended above your head. Onto the belly, continuing to roll and come onto your back. Rolling back, leg over, arms are extended, rolling and coming on to our backs. All right, good work. Let's bring the knees in, a little Apanasana, interlock your fingers around your knees, little hugs and circles on the small of your back. Other side. Extend your left leg, bring the right knee up towards your right shoulder for a little stretch here. Press the left leg heel out. Finding your stretch and breathe. And when you're ready, let's change and do the other leg. So interlocking the fingers in front of the left leg, left shin rather. Pulling that knee towards your left shoulder. Extending your right heel for your stretch. And release. Now keeping your knees wide, bring your hands behind your knees and just holding the legs, supporting them here. Letting the legs fall, the knees fall wide for a nice stretch in the groin. Release your jaw. If you need to use a brick under or a blanket under your head here so that your head is supported, that's fine. If you're comfortable, you can reach now between the knees. So my arms are between my legs and I'm holding my shins from the inside like such. If that's too strong, just stay where you are. Continue to breathe, release. If you're comfortable going a little deeper, you can reach in and grab the inside of each foot and opening up the feet so that the feet are over the knees, coming into our happy baby. If this is too strong, just stay where you were. And you can move the feet around a little bit here, just sort of circles, play with it. But the arms are hanging heavy on the feet, just giving some gentle pressure to increase the opening here. Again, if your head is not able to be on the floor, make sure you're putting some sort of support under your head, a brick or a blanket. And as you breathe, maybe opening the knees just a half inch more on each side, just getting a little bit more of an opening as you stay in this position. And when you're ready, you can release your feet. Bring your hands back down underneath your knees. So your knees are still up over your body. Bring the knees together and we're just going to gently rock the spine. Just some gentle rocking. And then if you'd like, you can start to kick the feet up over the body. Rocking along the longer part of the spine. When you're ready, you can tuck the chin, get a larger roll. And then when you're ready, just bring your feet back down to the floor, your hands to the side. Let's drop the knees to one side for a gentle twist. Feet are nice and wide on the mat. Both shoulders are down on the mat. And when you're ready, bring the knees up. Let's do the other side. You can spend as much time on each side as you want. Just getting a gentle twist. Challenge yourself throughout the day, thinking about different ways you can move your spine, arching, flexing side to side. The more you move it, the more healthy it's going to be, the more fluid that gets in between the vertebrae, the more the muscles are stimulated. So just throughout your day, challenge yourself to find ways to maybe do some of the movements we've done here today, or others that maybe from other classes that you've taken, but incorporate them into your life. It's not just during class time or that you have to make a special time for it. Bringing your hands down close to the sides. If your knees are still bent and your feet are on the floors, the knees, feet slightly pigeon-toed. Let's lift the hips up, give it a shimmy, and lift the hips, shimmy, and down. Hips up, shimmy, and down. If you can grab one of your bricks and place it between your knees, keeping the feet on the floor, squeeze the brick, press through the big toes and your hands and lift the hips up. Keep your gaze forward, don't turn your head from side to side, and lift the hips and squeeze for gentle back bend here. Squeeze, 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 squeeze the glutes as well and lift. Lifting the shoulders, maybe working your shoulders under the chest as you open the chest, squeeze. Another breath. And then down, one more. Inhale, lift. Lift the chest. If you're comfortable and you'd like to interlock the fingers under the body, you can do that pressing down on the pinkies. You don't have to, but if it's there, it's available to you. You can get a deeper stretch here and release. Take the brick out. One last hug. Put the knees over your chest. And then let's extend the legs and prepare for our Shavasana. Taking any last wiggles or jiggles you'd like just to feel nice and loose. Shake the head from side to side. Make sure the space between your teeth and your face is relaxed. Close your eyes and breathe. Check that your feet are nice and loose. Hips are loose. Hands are relaxed. Coming back to the awareness of your breath and your body. Gently begin to move your toes and your fingers. Gently rolling the head from side to side. Relax the shoulders, relax your jaw. Maybe taking a final stretch with your arms above your head Heels out. And then bending your knees, rolling over to your side. Taking a moment here on your side with your eyes closed to breathe. When you're ready, push yourself up to a seated position. Keep your eyes closed for another moment. Hands to your heart. Come back to the intention. If you set one at the beginning of class, feel its blessing, its expansion, filled with light and love. Release it out to the world. Thanking your body for this practice today. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Have a lovely week. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I hope you found a few of the things that we did today helpful, and I hope that you'll find space within your day to practice some of them or other movements that you find helpful. Take care, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you, Robin.